Wasenshido Dojo. We are in day 24 of our 30 days martial arts for beginners. We are on fast twitch muscle fibers for today, for the class today. So let's get started and go. That's the fast twitch muscle. It's a fast, quick movement. All right. Now, before we get into the physical stuff, let's talk about what it is. So fast twitch muscles are, actually didn't even highlight it up there. I didn't even write what actually fast twitch muscles are. So our muscles have fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers naturally. So without getting into too big of like what it actually is, you can just do a simple Google search. But we have muscle fibers. Our muscles are filled up with fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. Depending on what you need in the moment, your body's going to naturally use the fast twitch or the slow twitch muscles. Just normal everyday life is kind of slow twitch muscles. But if you need explosive action, martial arts training, self-defense, combat stuff, military stuff, anything that is athletic, sprinting, of course, even long distance running. So your muscles will use sometimes 50-50. Let's say there's a long distance runner that's doing a mile or a 10-mile run. They're still using some fast twitch muscles, but it's going to be maybe more slow twitch muscles. But every time their foot hits the ground and bounces off, they're using that fast twitch part of their muscle. But it's a long endurance race, so that's what they do. That's how they run, right? Just like that. Long distance race. And so in those cases, they're going to use more percentage of, I don't know exactly, maybe you can look it up, but maybe a little more of the slow twitch muscles for those kinds of things. Sprinters, fast twitch muscles, like 99% during the sprint is your muscles using 99% of the fast twitch muscles, of the fast twitch fibers of the muscle. And so years of training and sprinting, you're training those muscle fibers to be more active during those moments, explosive moments. So right now I'm just moving my hand around. I'm not using my fast twitch muscles. I'm using more of my slow twitch or my normal, whatever, twitch muscles. But if I go like this and I move my hand real fast, that's all of a sudden my brain and my nerves and everything, as I'm gonna do the fast movement, boom. Okay, I immediately go into the fast twitch muscle fibers. They activate, boom, and they use that fiber for that. So this is the foundation of all of your martial arts movements. So unless you're doing Tai Chi, yoga, but that's the arts, of course. But the martial arts part where you're the self-defense, the fast movements, the more yang movements, combat stuff, training, and then of course any and all athletes and anybody that needs more performance-based techniques or movements. So testosterone plays a key role in fast twitch muscle fiber. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. I don't know all the really deep biology of that. I did look it up, but I don't know by heart. It plays a role definitely in fast twitch muscle fibers. So if you want to look up men, women, testosterone is it's both for men and women, not just men. Men are born with a little more of it, but that's all I'll say. So now we're going to do agility drills, explosive drills, plyometrics or jump training, explosive isometrics, and kettlebells. And then we'll talk about how your mind plays a role in fast twitch, not the fiber itself, but the actual movements and the motions. So let's get started. just grabbed this little rope here from my rope dart, my shin biao. You can have what's called those, you've all seen the professional athletes and the football players that have those little squares made out of ropes, and they're doing those drills for practice. So they're just, you know, going like this in each of the squares as they run through. So you can set up something like that. You can buy them online. Go to Amazon. I'm sure they have that all there. I just set up a little bit of a rope here, so you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay. Switch sides. See how my feet, I'm just going as really fast as you can. This is training fast twitch muscles. This is very simple. You can do, so there's the ladder drills and there's the cones, the little orange or whatever colored cones that you're just gonna go, you see them as well. You go, if you set up cones, you know, it's kind of like a halfway setup, but you know, you run here for the cone and switch and go back and forth, okay? So as I step and launch off, that's more the explosive. So these are all joined together. They're different topics, but agility, explosive drills, they're all, you know, it's all basically chunked together, so to speak. So I mean, I could just take my squares and just go, or you just do that on the floor. So you get the ladder with the little boxes. You know, take some chalk outside and put your shoes on and make little boxes for your feet and just go, you know, like basically jumps, hopscotch. You can do that. You can make the boxes smaller to work on more agility and coordination. Okay, so literally just understanding, well, it's a fast, explosive, fast-moving exercises will build that. Then you need to just do that. So if you're going for a walk, just, you know, fast running in place. Okay, going back and forth with your feet wide, because that's going back and forth, shifting your body weight really fast. That will work. And then there's the box drills. So cones again, you'll see people going, or just set up objects. So I'm gonna go over here to this, and then go here, and then I'm gonna go to this right here, and I'm gonna go over to this object here. So you're explosive, you're stopping fast, you're exploding and going off in the next direction. So this is really big for martial arts too, for movements, okay? So that's agility drills. Explosive drills is what we just did too, where it's like starting from a sprint and starting off the line. So you can literally do sprints. So you can, from starting to stand, you can just do this in your house. You only need 10 feet because you just stand normal. Just imagine that somebody's gonna say, on your mark, get set, and go. And you can rewind that real quick and just do that. So if you're standing in your room or your house, or maybe in your garage or your setup area, just get ready to do a little sprint, just 2 or 3 steps. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so just launch, a couple quick steps, launch and a couple quick steps, and you're good. That will build up that fast twitch muscles in your movements with your lower body specifically. So that's another technique. Squatting. So we did sprints, squatting. So of course you just as with squats with weights and everything else, but you can just squat without any weights at all. I'm just gonna do a few of these. So it's not just the squat, it's the explosiveness. So remember, explosions, explosive movements. So you can almost take anything that you do and add an explosive aspect to it. So just going, Go ahead, just go into a squat and then launch. And then come back to start. You can go into a squat and then launch as fast and as hard as you can. Now make sure you are warmed up a little bit. If you're not warmed up, just start slow, do a couple of squats, do a couple of agility drills. And you don't have to go all the way down. That's a little more advanced. That can be a lot on your knees. So start slow with this. I like yelling at the camera, but the microphone's right here. Guys, this is what you gotta do. I'm getting it through your thick skull. All right, so you gotta go down halfway or whatever, just go a little bit and then jump, boom. Use your hands, use your arms, because that's, again, fast twitch with your upper body too. So it's like pulling a rope, a bow and arrow, or it's like you're pulling something, a rubber band back. Our muscles are kind of like rubber bands. Very advanced rubber bands. So, boom. So just jumping in place, jumping onto boxes, box drills. Jumping onto any object, doing stairs. Boom, one stair, and the next stair. And so on and so forth. Now, explosive drills with more explosive drills for you. So we got punches and kicks. There's another video that I did about with isometrics and speed. I think it's speed and coordination, or one of my videos for this month. I can't remember. It's been a couple of months since I filmed that one. So it was about isometrics, which is also another section in today's class. So let's do a few punches and a few kicks. So, or a palm heel, or a punch if you're punching a bag, something soft. Okay. Now, just tap, just a little tap it, do, tap it, do. All right. So, from standing with your fighting stance, okay, you can do a punch, do a palm heel, doesn't matter. Just do a jab. Do as fast as you can. So relax the arm. Relax the mind. That's another section we talk about today. It's the mind. And nice relaxed hand until you land the punch, and then you or palm heel, boom. So from here, just getting your arm, relaxing your muscles. Boom. Okay. Now backhand, same thing. I'm relaxed. I'm priming my body to move. I'm going to do my hips and my shoulders. Boom. Okay. You launch that arm out there as fast as you can. Get into the mindset. Don't be like, well, my arm is slow. You just have to tell your body, and over months and months of training, it's going to go quicker. And also pull it back fast too. You don't want to pull punches in a real situation necessarily, but that's also part of the fast twitch muscles. One. So launch it out there as fast as you can. Relax your body, relax your arm. Okay. And there it goes. Are you there? Are you still with me? Butterfingers. It's not very ninja-like. I'll keep that in the video. Maybe I'll feeling kind of cute. Might leave it in. So, fast twitch muscles and knife hand strike. So here, relaxing your arm. It's almost sometimes. I remember teaching some of this, or even just when I was learning it myself. It's almost uncomfortable mentally being like, how do I make my hand go faster? That's going to slow you down if you start thinking like that. It's where your mind comes in. Your mind has got to be quick. Your mind has also got to get out of the way, because your mind is in the way of speed. So Bruce Lee talks about as well. Relaxing your hand, relaxing your every muscle in your arm is relaxed in your shoulder. And then when you decide, boom, boom, fast, boom, wow. Okay, so work on the punches, work on palm heel, or you use strikes with your arms, knife hand strike. Finger flicks to the face are really nice. That's a really good self-defense. They will not even see it coming. Boom, and before you know it, they're in tears from getting hit in the eyes. And then you can go, oh, hit them in the throat with your fingertips. And then they'll be like choking a little bit from that. Then you can backhand them into the groin and they're gonna drop because of that. And then you can come into the solar plexus and knock the wind out of them. And then they won't be doing much. Then you can take out the knee. And you can grab them, knee them in the gut, take out the knee, sweep them down. And then you get, and then it can get worse from there if you want to do that. So, agility drills, we got explosive drills. Same thing with kicks, same thing we just said with punches. Boom. Do that with the kicks as well. So maybe just do a front round kick. Try to just relax the leg, shake the muscles. And just get out of your mind. Okay. I didn't warm up my legs very much so far, so I'm not going to kick too much. But, so, boom. Okay, so remember, you just try to do as fast as you can. Now, isometrics. Before I do a little more isometrics, actually, I want to do movements and push-ups. So it's something that everybody can do every single day. So we did the squats, where you explode, and you go slow, and then boom! Same thing with push-ups. Okay, you're just gonna kind of go down normally, and then push up really as fast as you can. Boom! Okay? Do that. Do a set of just that, 10, 15, 20 push-ups like that, or 5, or however many you can do. Take a break, and then do some normal push-ups. Just do like 5, 5, 5, 5, or if you can do 10, 3, 4 sets. That's something I do almost every day. Okay, so now we got movements for the explosive drills. So, if I'm just standing here, I don't want to do it on this. It's dangerous because it could slip. I've slipped and hurt my groin. It's not really planted to the floor. So this is just like when you take off from a sprint. I want you guys to follow me on this one as well. I hope you're following along on this whole video. So I'm just going to launch off the back foot, and with my forward momentum, just jump forward with both feet. So leaping forward, leaping back. Leap forward, leap back. Looks like this. So a foot comes up, so the front foot comes up, and I just press off and I launch. The back foot comes up, and I press off that front foot, going back. 1, 2. Switching stance. 1, 2. This is forward and backwards. And now we're going to go left and right. So we got it's a sideways leap. So lifting up that left foot and leaping to the left. Lifting up that right foot, pressing off the left and launching to the right. Explode. Go. Go. Hands are up. Because again, this is martial arts. This is combat training. This is self-defense training. So it's forward and back, side to side. Now let's go at the angles. If you're looking at me or looking at the camera, go at a 45-degree angle. Boom. This is called triangulation. Now go back to the center. Excuse me. Switch your stance, 45 degrees. Boom. Boom. And now just go back to center and go 45 degrees back to the right. And same thing to the left. Back to the left, 45, back to the right. All right, so that's all 8 angles that way. So we got agility, explosive drills, and we'll get into a couple other ones in just a second. I knew this was going to be a workout. Did I leave it on? I left it running. Good, okay. Okay, so we got agility drills, we got explosive drills. Now, jump training and plyometrics is basically what we just did. Movement training, so bouncing, so leaping in all the directions. That's super, super important. So train that. That is for your martial arts skills and your self-defense skills and combat and self-defense skills is extremely important. That's like up there with the top 3 most important thing. Fast twitch muscles and your lower body and your movements and your movement speed. That is, unless you get taken down on the ground or doing ground jiu-jitsu, grappling, or ground fighting, that is the most important thing for self-defense, in my opinion. I mean, top 3. I'd have to think about what the actual other top 2 are. That's top 3 is your lower body, your agility, and your movements, because without agility and movements and foundation of your legs and your lower body, you're going to get taken down, you're going to get swept, you're going to get tossed into something, you're going to get tossed onto the ground. You don't have any power with your strikes or your punches or your kicks if you don't have a lower body strength, endurance, or like this kind of fast twitch movements. You can't really. You're less likely to, dodge, which I still have to do that video about dodge and parry, but your dodge and parry and those techniques are all, they're all counting on your lower body strength and agility and fast twitch muscles. So I can't stress that enough. I can say it over and over again. It's these lower body leaping movements, triangulation, which is like your timing and distance, and angles, timing, and distance. So angling and distance and your timing, but that might be a whole nother video. So that's basically, I don't need to go into that jump training. So just bouncing, doing jumping jacks, jump rope. See how I'm just kind of like, as you hit the ground, you're bouncing off your toes, and you're boom, 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 boom. You can almost make it a little more accentuated. You can almost make it a little more of a boom, a bounce, than if you're just kind of like lazy, kind of, doing this. You can kind of make it tighter and bounce a little quicker. Hope that makes sense. So there's a lot in this video. That's why I'm taking a look at my chart here, my notes. It's not my notes, it's just the whiteboard that we did. Explosive isometrics. So isometrics is what we did in another video that I talked about with our punches. So as I'm flexing my muscles about 50% here, and I'm extending and I'm pulling back and I'm keeping my muscles tense, or about 50% tense, 50 to 50% flexed the entire time I go out. And I'm bringing it back with the tension. Do this a few times with me. And I'll turn my body and turn my shoulders like I'm supposed to, and the hips. And bring it back. You can do this kind of like in horse stance. We used to do this in karate class. Okay, or I would just come back to your face because there's no, this is good for form and like posture. This is mostly just posture training. There's absolutely no reason to pull this back here. You see some karate masters and they'll throw a punch to break a board or something and they'll pull their hand back here like this, or, and that's fine for breaking boards and stuff, but you can pull your hand back to your face and get the same kind of leverage. Okay, you don't see UFC fighters or boxers going like this. Okay, nothing against that. That's amazing. Karate and the katas and stuff. You know, that's amazing to work on with form and posture and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of gives you a structure. It's just make sure make sure you know what's practical and what isn't, and what's actually happening and what you're actually training to do or not to do. So that's the most important. So isometrics with the punches, okay? You can do this with bands, so you can put a band around. I'm not a big user of bands, actually don't have any. I should probably buy some just to have them. Actually, we have a Pilates machine in there. My wife probably has some bands, I can't remember, in that little fitness package she got. But putting bands around or putting it onto a door or around your body, because I've used bands before, and just going from one arm to the other with a band, that's also good. Your isometrics and you're constricting and using those muscles, that's really good. I just never got into it. Nobody can do every single thing. I did so many different types of things. So, but I think that's something I should get into. That's good for when you start to get older and age. I'm in my 40s, so I'm doing amazing, but there's ways to just get into your 60s and 70s and still be in shape, but you just want to stay ahead of the game, you know. And so isometrics is big with fast twitch, and bands really help with that. I just have that. This is the punching thing. You can do bands with weightlifting motions. Again, just use bands for martial arts motions. So if you use bands for weightlifting or in the gym or for fitness, you're doing your pull-ups, bicep curls. You can do your pull-ups. You can by pulling down a band, pushing bands, doing curls with your bands. I've done all that stuff too. You can do your explosiveness with the bands. So as you're doing curls, you kind of curl as fast as you can, go slow, go slow. Going slow is the isometric part, and then explode. Okay, so same with you can just do some punches with the bands normally, or you can kind of do fast, or just do one over and over again. Maybe you got a band hooked up to really secure, okay? Don't try to do it under the door or whatever else. Fly out, hurt somebody. Or break something. So you can do that as well. So that's enough of explosive isometrics. You can, one more thing. You can do that with squats. So you have your bands hooked to your feet or something, and you go down and you go up, boom. And maybe it's hooked to something else and you can try to jump, but if it's under your feet, don't jump. Use common sense. One of the last things is kettlebells. Kettlebells can also be really good for explosive power. It's one of the things that is good about kettlebells. So grab your kettlebell. If you don't, you can grab a dumbbell or any kind of weight with a handle of some kind. Start with something pretty small. Maybe you start with a 10 pound or a 15 pound or something. I think, what is this? This is a 20 pound. And so kettlebells are amazing. I'm not going to go too much into kettlebells. Just going to start showing you just the general swing, and that's what we'll do today. So you can start by squatting And the fast twitch and the explosive part comes with the explosiveness in the hips. Jeez. Start talking, my mouth gets dry. It's hard to talk here in the desert. So, just start with a swing, okay? Okay. So, keep your feet flat. So as you see from the side, I'll show you guys how to do a proper kettlebell swing because there's a lot of people going like this out there. Okay, your back, you're way too much on your back. So it's like a half squat, and it's a leverage of the hips. That's the actual mechanic. So you're leveraging the hips, okay, your back and your hip, and you're also squatting a little. It's a half squat. Your shins shouldn't be too far forward. Okay, so just there's a whole math, no more than 70 degrees to the left, or something crazy like that, or 80 degrees. So this up and down is 90. It's about 80 or something like that. Whatever, I can't remember. 75 degrees. So, anyways, keep on your heels. Keep your feet flat, but accentuate the heels, like you're digging your heels into the ground. And as you come up, keep your knees slightly bent. You don't have to lock your knees out. Keep your knees a little bit open, and use those glutes, and kind of just a nice little pop. Pop. Pop the hips forward. Pop. Pop. So as it swings down, right here is when you, boom, press those heels in and thrust forward. If you feel you're coming down on as you're exploding up, make sure you're not like coming off your heels. Excuse me. Make sure you're not coming off your heels and onto your toes. That's very bad form. Okay. You can get away with it with light weights, but if you get into heavier weights, it's just not good form. It's not good habit. Okay. So that's basically all I want to show you with the kettlebell. Kettlebell's an amazing workout, by the way. Such good cardio. You only have 5 minutes to do anything in a day. Pick up a 20-pound kettlebell. That's a good weight for pretty much anybody, unless you're really, really out of shape, really very little muscle tone, or very small person. 15 pounds or 20 pounds. Watch some kettlebell videos if you want to know more about that. That's just a really big, short blip. That's like not even the tip of the iceberg. The last thing we'll talk about is the mind. And I spoke a little bit earlier about it, but I know I'm so fast-paced, kind of hyper today. So hopefully it doesn't hurt the video in the way I was talking today. So, fast twitch muscles and the mind and your mentality. Not your mentality so much, just how the mind works. So, we all know about meditation. We all know about the chatter of the mind. Okay, the mind so the average person, if they just cut off they put their phone down. That's all people need to do these days, is just put the phone down, and they'll just start freaking out. So put your phone down, turn off the TV, turn off, basically everything during the middle of the day, not when you're really tired. Because usually people, you're really tired, at least you can fall asleep fairly quickly. So, as I'm all proper, and as as you do. So when the mind is constantly chatter, we all know what that's like. That's slowing down your body. That's slowing down your nervous system to fire fast. That's making you slow with your movements. So that's why, if you've ever seen The Last Samurai, they talk about no mind. All Eastern religions and Eastern philosophy talk about, having the monkey mind in yoga and Hinduism, the Taoism and Shintoism and Chinese medicine and Buddhism, of course Buddhism, with all the meditation. It's the monkey mind. It's the mind that doesn't stop. It keeps, thoughts. That's slowing you down. That's making your life worse. Not that there's times when it's good to think thoughts. You need to think thoughts. But when they're happening so much in the background, and who knows what they are and what they're doing, I write about this in a book that I'm writing about with cognitive behavior, and PTSD, anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and chronic disorders. That's what the book is about. Will not reveal the name yet. It's probably about another year before I can get it out. I'm about 3/4 done with it. But in the book, I talk about cognitive behavior and cognitive behavior therapy, but more specifically, how so much chatter that goes behind the scenes. It's like a computer, a very advanced computer, like our brains are. And on our computers and on our phones, there's all these background apps. And on all these background apps, sometimes you don't know how many are going, and sometimes you just gotta go back and go into the files or into the apps and kind of either delete apps that haven't been used for years or whatever that's taking up space, or just apps that are running in the back that are kind of slowing or sluggishing, causing your computer to be sluggish. They need to be turned off or whatever. That's what's happening in our brains. So there's cognitive distortions in our minds. You can look that up under cognitive behavioral. You just Google cognitive distortions. You'll get all of them there. An example of a cognitive distortion is, if I'm wrong, I'm bad. I'm a bad person, so I can't be wrong. So that's why people will argue for their whatever statement or whatever they're thinking or whatever their belief is. So there's also the belief systems and beliefs. Negative beliefs are part of cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's all the stuff that's underlying things that are going on in your mind. Cognitive biases. Biases are a big one. So I'd have to brush up on. I write a bunch in my book, but I gotta brush up, and there's so much information to remember. I'm not so super good at remembering all those little facts like that. I'm amazing at talking with somebody and going, ooh, there's cognitive distortion, there's a this, there's a that. This is what's going on. That's what's going on. This is how we fix it. That's what I'm really good at. But if you start getting into like details and remembering exact words and exact definitions and really school stuff, I'm more the yin. I'm more the artist. In my martial arts, I'm more the artist. So anyways, I'm ranting about this. But the mind, let's get to the core of it. The mind is keeping your brain and your body sluggish with all that stuff that is. I'm not saying the mind is bad. I'm talking about the mind that is out of control, or it's too much chatter, too much going on in the background. That's what's keeping your brain and body or your mind and the body to be less connected. Okay, that's why cognitive behavioral therapy and other kinds of Eastern philosophy therapy is so important, like meditation. Meditation is kind of like the cognitive behavioral therapy of Eastern mindset, Eastern philosophy. So, and there's a lot, meditation is just one word, but there's a lot of different transcendental meditation where you're moving meditations. There's just different kind of mindsets like letting go and allowing. Those two are actually pretty big. Letting things go and allowing things to happen. So that's how you get fast movements and fast twitch muscles, by letting your mind go. So if I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking as hard as I can about how I'm going to go so fast to strike the opponent, that is what's going to cause you to slow down. You got to let all that shit go. You got to just let your mind go, let your let the muscles relax in your arms. So just do this. You just relax the shoulder, relax the arms, shake the muscles a little bit, tap the muscles, shake the hands and the forearm muscles. Okay. Boom. So you're just practicing the eye flick. That's what I was doing there. Boom. You don't want to hit somebody with those fingers if you don't have to, because that'll hurt your fingers. I'd rather hurt my fingers and have them go like this and then get in there and do this kind of stuff, grabbing, whatever it is, grabbing groin and nipple twisters, hitting, I'm just making shit up there. So, letting go of the mind and just be. And just start with this. Just start with a slow, it's not slow, but it's a relaxed extension. Relaxed extension. I didn't really think of that till right now. You're just extend it, but relax the whole time. Breathe. I find myself just like, oh, this is cool. How to explain this? Just breathe. Boom. See how I'm not looking straight there? I'm using my peripheral vision. So it's loose, loose, relax, 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 relax. Fast switch and relax again. Boom. That's really advanced. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 some years. But you gotta start somewhere. So if I'm here and I'm grabbing somebody's collar, make sure that you can see me. If I'm grabbing somebody's collar here, it's just kind of tight on him. But I'm grabbing somebody's clothes. I'm relaxed a little bit. I'm taut, but then boom, I can throw an elbow, but the fast switch, boom, and then I'm relaxed again. Okay? It's also how you stay out of getting hurt so much, or getting hurt at all. Is when you learn this when you start training with a partner, especially when you're grappling and moving. When you're grappling with somebody that's super stiff, they're so easy to beat. Even when they have certain skills and they know techniques. I'm not a huge grappler. I didn't get too deep into it. I'm not too super advanced or anything, but I had my parts I was really good at. I had things that I was not so good at. Actually, I wasn't very good at the offensive. I was like, almost nobody could tap me very easily anyways. I was just one of my strengths. I just wasn't very easy to tap out. Somebody had me in an arm bar between their legs, and I would literally just go like this and I'd lift them up. It's just, maybe it's just the tendons I was born with and all the arm wrestling I used to do. 150 to 180 pounds, I would almost lift them off. They'd have both of their arms like this, pulling my hand, and I would just one arm, and I'd pull their arm, both of their hands with my one arm, and then I would be able to get my other hand in and pull that out too. And then there's the alligator roll where you're getting pulled, and then you pull, and then you let go, and you can go like this, and you can go and kind of roll out of it. But now I'm getting way off into tangent land. Tangent land, back up the tangent train. So the mind, just rewind the video, or the next time you want to work on your fast switch muscles, just play this, watch the whole video again, but just listen to me in the background, just going, relax the arm, relax the shoulder, relax the body. Take a deep breath and relax the breath. And then use your breath. Unless you're a ninja doing a night attack and you're sneaking and you don't want anybody else to hear you, then you want to be as silent with everything as you can. Fast switch muscle fibers. Day 24. Get to it. And that's an order. As I break my camera. And it's just like, just kidding.